That looks good.
Hey, what's up everybody? It's me, your girl Queen. Welcome to my kitchen. You see those ingredients back there? I'm about to make you one of my favorite dishes in the whole wide world. Baked mac and cheese. Well, I'm not gonna make it for you, but once you're done watching this video, you're gonna be able to make it for yourself and for whoever else that you love, and they're gonna love you back, I promise. I think we should just get right into it, right? So the first thing you do when you're cooking is what? Wash your hands. If you did not comment that right when I said it, you need to take another lesson in kitchen etiquette, basically. So the first thing you do is wash your hands. Once you've done that and your hands are squeaky clean, next thing you want to do is preheat your oven, because you don't want to have everything ready and then your oven is still cold. That's not cool at all. Come on, follow me. So for this dish, we want to do bake, and we want to do that 350. Once you're done preheating your oven, you want to come back over here to your range, which is the stove top basically, and you want to get your big pot, and you want to fill it up with water, because the first thing that you do, like as far as cooking is concerned, with the baked mac and cheese, is you want to cook your pasta. For me, when I do baked mac and cheese, I prefer large elbows, but you can use regular elbows. A lot of places, they don't have large elbows. It's all the same, but since it was there and I prefer it, I went and got large elbows. And you want to get about 16 ounces? Yeah, 16 ounces. Filling up my pot now. And what you want to do is you want to have not like a set amount of water. You don't have to measure out 4 cups, 8 cups, whatever. You just want to make sure you have quite a bit of water in here so that when you're boiling your pasta, it has enough room to, you know, just grow. Now that you have your pot filled with water, you want to turn on the stove eye. I like to put it on high. High, 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 so it boils fast. When I'm cooking pasta, I also like to add a little bit of salt to the water. I don't even really remember why I do this, but I know there is a purpose. Maybe it's so that they don't stick together, the pasta doesn't stick together, but I always do this with pasta. There's not a set amount, I just do it until I feel comfortable. Now that you see the water is boiling, it's at a rapid boil, you want to take your pasta and open it and put it in. You notice it stopped boiling and stopped steaming, so you got to bring it back up to a boil. I'm just going to take my spoon and move it around a little bit and wait for it to return to a boil. After that, you want to let it cook for however long it says on your package. It's not a set time, but it doesn't have to be exactly as long as the packet, or you could use the lesser time, because remember, you're still going to cook it again by baking it. So you don't need it to be soft. Just cook it at the least amount of time that it said. Now that the pasta has returned to a boil, you want to follow the instructions, the cooking instructions for the actual package of pasta that you bought, but this is really something that you should always do anyway. Every now and again, you want to come back through and just give it a little stir. Just move the pasta around every now and again. You don't got to overdo it every 30 seconds, every minute. Just every now and again. While your pasta is boiling, you want to go ahead and get some other stuff ready. One of the cheeses in your mac and cheese is Velveeta. Yeah, that liquid gold or whatever it's called. We need some of that. You don't need this big block, but we'll probably use about half, a quarter. Depends on how I feel. But you do want to cube it so that when you have to melt it, it melts easier. There's no exact, precise way to do this. It's not like, oh, it's got to be perfectly symmetrical squares or anything like that. It's all going to get melted. But the smaller the cubes, the easier, quicker it will be to melt. My timer went off. That means my pasta is ready. You can't really see it because it's still boiling, but you'll see. Get you a strainer. Look at the pasta a little bit. You can kind of see, right? It fluffed up a lot. So you want to strain it. Basically just pour it in your colander. Woo! You see that steam? Don't burn your face. But it could be a nice little facial, huh? Your man might tell you smell like pasta, but it might make him hungry. I'm just shaking it so that you can get all the water out, because you're gonna make it liquidy, kind of creamy, but it's not gonna be watery. When it's done and strained, you're gonna take it back to the pot that you already used. You don't have to clean it, you just put it back in there. The burner was on high. We want it to still be on, but we don't need it that high. Medium low. We're just gonna get the cheeses and butter melted with the pasta. We wanna go right in with the butter so that it doesn't burn. I have a big old cube of butter. Dang, I don't really measure this out. Let's see, how many would I say? Let's go with 4 tablespoons. Just remember, butter make it better. So I'm gonna go back in with my spoon and mix it up, coat all the pasta so it doesn't burn. See how it looks all shiny, glossed up. Keep moving around till the butter melts. Once that butter good and melted, I'm gonna take my half and half. It doesn't matter which brand. You want 1 pint, pour it right in there. The whole thing. Now you really starting to make your sauce. See that? That's that mac and cheese sound that people be talking about. That's them grown folk that know what I'm talking about right now. But listen close. That's that mac and cheese. We ain't got the cheese in there yet, but you. What I personally like to use is a blend of American and cheddar shredded cheese, and then the Velveeta cubes. But they didn't have it at the store that I went to, so I just got 4 different cheddars. I really like this brand of cheese. And then I got another one that's just mild cheddar. This right here it's just shy of 2 cups. You want to stir because the goal is to kind of melt it. Now you also want to go and get your Velveeta and put that in there so it can get melting too. Don't worry about that. He ain't want to be ate. He just want to be thrown away. You got your cubes. You want to go ahead and get in there. Now honestly, how much cheese you put in your mac and cheese depends on how cheesy you want it to be. I'm going to start with this and see what it looks like. While that's melting, I'm going to take a little break from stirring it, and I'm going to go ahead and prepare my bacon dish and also prepare my eggs that I'm going to put in here too. So I already prepared the bacon dish. Basically, I just took a little bit of butter and I put it on the pan like that, all over. You can also use cooking spray, you know, whatever. I just like to coat my pan before I actually put the mac and cheese in it. Now I'm gonna take my eggs. I'm gonna take 3 eggs, crack them. Try not to get the shell in there. You know, everybody ain't a pro. Do your best. Oh, see? I said it and I got one in there. But it's okay, it's not the end of the world. I'm not gonna leave it in there. We don't want that type of crunch in our mac and cheese. But I can get it out. Now I'm gonna beat my eggs. You don't need them completely liquefied and all the way blended, but you wanna beat them up. I thought they was gonna put like some music there. They're good, they're done, they're beat. We got it down low. It's done melted the cheeses quite a bit. You hear that sound? Sound good, look good. What I like to do is I kind of like to taste it first before I put the eggs in it though, because I'm not going to want to taste it after I put the raw egg in it, because you know, you could get sick from that. But I want to make sure my taste is on point. So I'm going to season it and taste it and then put the egg. I like to use seasoned salt. Oh, I don't measure it. I guess that'll be my little secret. You'll figure it out. Some pepper. A little paprika. Not too much, just a little taste. Sometimes I even like to get a little funky with it. Put a little garlic salt. Not too crazy. Oh yeah. And this that real fat people stuff. A little bit of sugar. Now you want to mix it all up. Like I said, I don't measure anything. I go based off of how it looks and how it tastes. Right now, this not really looking like it's seasoned enough. So I'm just gonna go in a little more. Now I'm gonna go ahead and taste it just a little bit to see if I like how it's coming along. Once you got it looking and tasting the way you want, you could go ahead and put your egg mixture in there. Mix it up. You don't want to cook it on the stove top, you just want it to be incorporated. Okay, so we got our baking dish and we got our mac and cheese mixture, and we're gonna just try to evenly fill it up. I'm trying to make y'all see and I can't see. I don't like the way it's not a drop. Now that you have it evenly spread in your baking pan, you want to go on top of it with your other shredded cheese and just sprinkle it along the top. You want to cover the whole top. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty because you cleaned them, right? You always stay washing your hands while you cooking because you want to use your hands while you cooking. I like to be very generous when I top my mac and cheese, but it's up to you. Whatever type of crust top you want. This looks pretty good to me right now. It's almost ready to go in the oven, but one last trick I like to do, I like to take about 2 tablespoons of melted butter and I like to just dab it all throughout. Try not to miss an area. Every last drop, I said more butter make it better. Okay, now we're ready to put it in the oven. Remember, we already have our oven preheated for 350. Yep, it's nice and hot. We're gonna leave that in there baking for about 30 minutes, but you're gonna know based on how it's smelling, how it's looking. You can check it, start checking it about 25 minutes because it's gonna be a browning. That top layer of cheese is gonna be a certain kind of brown, golden brown that you want. It's gonna be to your preference exactly how crunchy brown you want, but I say the rule is really about 30 minutes. So we're gonna let that bake and do what it do. All right, everybody, it seems like it's that time. Let's take a look. Oh yes, that thing looks beautiful. Matter of fact, it looked heavy too. Let me get another mitten. A little oven mitt. Woo! Yes. This is it fresh out the oven. I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit before I actually serve it, and I'm gonna show you how it looks on a plate. You see this here? Now you see what it looked like on a plate. And I'm about to tear this up. Me and my family about to eat good. And I hope that from this video, you and your family will be able to eat good too. Sorry I couldn't give you the exact measurements. You know, I ain't no professional chef. I just be doing my little thing in the kitchen. But I bet it's gonna taste good. And on that note, I'm about to get this in my belly and then probably take a nap. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you comment down below if you would actually use this recipe, and if you do use this recipe, if it worked for you and what little changes you may have made. Love you guys so much. Thank you. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Peace.